Hey guys, and welcome to the Renegades.
That's it.
Today I am joined by
The Ruse.
who plays a
Troll.
right.
Super troll.
Your
Masterful troll.
what's your
Also
class?
superhero, who does other things.
what's your class?
Delinquent.
Good job. Good job.
I'm here and I'm ready to.
And for the first time joining us,
Hi, I'm Cold Front. I am playing an outsider today.
nice. And will be until you die, probably, till that character. So what's fun about these characters is that like you can like retire them as you level up. There's like a move called retiring, and then that's how you become new characters.
I remember that.
And then they become NPCs that I can use.
Oh, fun.
So, last time, the Ruse, the Gremlin, and All Might got into a fight with a faction called the Sandhounds, which are a militaristic like bully group. But they're trying to be like joining the military. That's sort of their trait at this trait university.
Jackboot thugs.
Exactly. They're trying to impress the militaristic professors.
Dictator
Like exactly.
professors.
Like the professors who teach like military, and so they're trying to like get in good with them so they can like get referenced and be like, oh, we can like become officers immediately as soon as we get into the military. That's their idea.
Suck ups.
Exactly. And so they ran into a group of 5 of them. One of them had a Mauser pistol, which is like classic like James Bond's pistol, villain pistol.
Yeah.
Then there were 2 guys with knives, no, 3 guys with knives, and another guy who could shoot laser beams out of his hands. And they got into a whole scuffle with them, fought. There was a lot of like missing each other and not hitting anything. Like there was a lot of like terrible fighting going on.
A lot of misfires.
A lot of misfires. In fact, a literal one because the guy fired his Mauser pistol and it exploded in his hand.
Wacky.
Yeah, and then
That's crazy.
but it all came down to the last guy, and the Gremlin decided to kick him. Spartan kicked him through 5 walls, and he ended up inside of a locker.
Epic.
Now, that just took place probably half an hour ago, and the Ruse and the others have been dragged off by the security, who have caught them on camera doing this shit. And so they're like, all right, you're coming with us.
Damn.
And so they take all of you and they separate you. The other 2 are taken away from you, and you are then taken to Professor Gandolf's office.
Professor Gandolfson.
Professor Gandolfson. He is the head professor of the university. Sort of like the principal, but you're not in a school, you're in a university. So the head professor.
The dean.
Not the dean. The dean are female, I believe. I believe to be a dean, you have to be female. And there's usually like sections, I believe. I think the dean is like a section. I don't know.
Oh, that's true.
I don't go to a university.
I say, so is it more like the president of the university?
Yeah, I guess it would be close to like president of the university.
Yeah.
Presidente.
But I mean, head professor sounds slightly better in this terms.
Head top guy.
Head top guy. Head top guy Gandolfson is the head top guy here, and so you're taken to his office. The security guards, the big broody guys with their like stereotypical Russian fezzes on. They drag you over and they open the door and push you in and close the door.
Yeah.
And there are 2 chairs in front of the head professor. He is talking to Cold Front here. What's your character's name?
Amgen.
Anjin?
Yes.
And he's talking to Anjin here. And when you open the door and walk in, he's like, ah, yes, Jeffrey, please come over and sit down.
My name is Jeff.
Your full name is Jeffrey.
That's it. My name is Jeffrey. First name, last name, first name. Anyway.
All right,
Yeah.
Mr. 007, sit down.
Don't mean to throw you off there.
Stop being a wise ass and sit down.
Sorry about that. Not really though. Anyway,
All right.
what do you want me for?
Well, you were at the scene of the proverbial crime where someone decided to remodel the inside of the university.
Yeah, what's it to you?
It's my university,
No, I understand.
and it's my money
Yeah.
that I have to use to fix it.
I was on the fritz, man. They were trying to come after me. You know about those sandhounds, those ones who are always roaming around the halls trying to bully people. I'm their victim. I'm their number 1 victim. Look at me. I'm like 12 years old, 2 feet tall. I'm exactly.
Are you really
short.
2 feet tall?
No, I'm a little taller than that, but still, they pick on me in comparison. Relatively, I'm the pickup meat for them, and that's.
You're their punching bag.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, okay, there you go. All right. I mean, that's sort of what they do. We try and deter it, but I mean, security can't be everywhere.
That's a load of bull. I mean, man, what do you want from me?
Well, I would like your side of the story. We've gotten the other side of the story. I would like yours.
Well, I was just walking to my computer electronics class, and I needed to go get some lunch. So I took a detour through the side hall, and one of the sandhounds tripped me, and I fell to the ground. And I got a little bit mad about that, so I went up to him and I said, "Hey, what's it to you?" And then I forgot I was about half his size. He didn't like that much, so he called his 2 friends over, and they started wailing me against the locker. And then my friend All Might showed up. Well, now he's my friend.
Do you remember you were in a courtyard?
Courtyard.
You were not inside of a hall against lockers.
I mean, they bashed my head in pretty good. I mean, I can't remember that well, but I suppose if you really wanted to delve inside the contents of my mind, it would be the point where they dragged me outside the hallway into the courtyard.
I do have a PhD in psychiatry, so there is that.
I could use a little bit of that. Anyway.
You seem that way.
Listen, the point of the story is I was getting wailed on in the courtyard, and these 2
Okay.
guys, they came up and they helped me. And
Good to
they're my
know.
friends now, because no one else has ever stuck up for me like that.
Cool.
So, do to me what you will, but you got to know that there's some problems at this school. Lots of corruption going on, and I don't like it one bit.
We are in a fascist country.
Well, I'm not a fascist per se. I am a little bit of a benevolent dictator myself, but it's just not a way that things should work, I don't think.
I mean, you are short enough to be one.
Listen, we're supposed to be a commu-fascist state. You know the rules. Everyone's a little bit equal. Some are more equal than others, but I think it's a little too unequal here. What say you, Gandolfson?
That's Professor Gandolfson.
Sorry, sir.
And what I have decided is, yes, you were assaulted by them, and yes, you defend yourself. Good enough. You didn't have to kick them through 5 walls.
I didn't do that, though. I just
You were an accomplice to that.
Yeah, what?
So you and your group of 3 friends are going to go and fix those walls.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That's gonna take forever. And I don't got forever. I got stuff to do. It's
I
true.
mean-
I'm going to school here.
Yeah. That's the fun part, is that during your day, you're going to be fixing that.
Boy.
And then with your free time, you're going to have to spend catching up on classes now, aren't you?
I'm gonna fall a little bit behind, honestly, if you give me that much work. Am I gonna get some help from other people?
I mean, they're not going to do your work for you. And yes, you 3, the 3 of you that caused the damage, are going to be fixing
Fine. How long do I have to do this?
until the walls are fixed.
I don't like walls, but okay.
You tend to knock them down, I noticed.
Yeah.
So,
I like to build bridges. My boy.
as detention, as your sort of punishment, you are going to fix those walls
Fine.
and catch up.
Mustard.
Now, why is Anjin here? This is outside of like game. Why is Anjin here?
This guy was also in on the action, but there were some other
Tangential forces at play, and I didn't. You might not have seen that. I didn't snitch on him though. He
I'm
was-
not in character right now. I'm asking.
Oh.
But why is your character here?
Oh, well, you see,
Move to strike my previous statement.
I turned into, I had the shape shifting.
Right.
I took the form of Mr. Gandolfson.
And made
And,
fun of him.
Just
Nice.
it's somewhere I probably shouldn't have been.
A strip club?
No. I just felt that taking a form of superiority would benefit me here.
I like it.
Yes. So then I was caught because, of course,
Mr. Gandalfson caught you probably.
yes.
You just walk. He just walks into himself and he's like, "All right, you're coming with me."
Yep.
You got epic.
All right.
rolled.
So he's like, "And you, Mr. Anjin,
Yes, sir.
do you even have a last name?"
Not that I care to tell.
I have no idea how you got into this university without that, but all right. So, Mr. Anjin, you're here because Well, you tried to steal my face, or you did successfully steal my face, and I took it back.
Well, they say impersonation's the best form of flattery, sir.
That is true.
He got you there, Gandolfson.
But when someone impersonates you and does something illegal, tends to go downhill for that point. At that point.
I know I'm still quite new around here, but I don't believe I did anything illegal.
Yes, but you could have. And I'm just here to tell you that you shouldn't do that. Or at least don't do it so that you don't do illegal things with it. Use your power responsibly.
Well, of course, sir.
Responsibly. Yeah, sure. He's a fascist, don't you know?
I didn't say I was fascist. I said this was a fascist country. And it's a private estate, therefore I own what goes on here.
You take the fascists out of the country, but not the country out of the fascists.
You're paying a fuck ton of money to go here. You think I am letting fascist rules come in here? I don't think so.
Oh, well, I think that supports a little bit what I was talking about earlier, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Well,
I do have to have outside security, but still.
We call it fascism light. It's like diet fash.
So,
Diet fascism.
Well, it's in school.
So is Amgen's just sitting here listening to this? Sir, I believe that's all that was requested of me, correct?
That it was. And you both, just because I'm feeling like it, because you pissed me off. The problem was you used my face, and that pisses me off. And so I think I'm going to have you help them with the walls. There were some other minor damages as well, so you could fix those too while you're at the walls. There was like an arch that was broken. There was a window that was smashed. You know, there are some shingles missing from where the guys jumped off of, so you can go fix those.
I suppose I could assist them with that.
So I suppose you're going to have to help them, Mr. High and Mighty, huh? You're going to do some grunt work. This is going to be great for you.
Welcome to the club. I kind of just scowl at Peruse.
Hey,
Kind of like,
I didn't do it.
just know that if this were under regular circumstances, I wouldn't stoop to your level.
Oh, wow. Class warfare. What's going on here? Jeez, man.
It's like, good.
Harsh.
You're free to leave. Tomorrow, what day is it, do you think?
Catil's Day.
Catil's Day?
Yeah.
Which is it a
Between
weekend?
Tuesday-
Is
between-
tomorrow a weekend?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's between
So it's
Friday
like
and Saturday.
after the weekend,
Mhm.
on your first day, you will start working on it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
So.
Really, though.
You are
That's what we
dismissed.
agree on.
Okay.
You guys are dismissed.
Uh,
And the security, and he like presses a button, and there's a buzz, and the door opens. Security guards come in to escort you back out, and they take you out to like the main sort of hall area that sort of connects like to the rest of the wings of the university. Sort of like in Harry Potter, that sort of like main hall area past like the clock where like the stairs go in all the direction, and it connects to like the
atrium.
eating hall, right? The atrium. They take you there, and like you can now go wherever you want from here.
Yes.
Do you guys, I think we discussed on the last one that you live off campus?
Yep.
Okay, so you live off campus,
It's true.
and where does Amgen live?
Well, I do have my vehicle, but I doubt that's.
I mean, I suppose it depends on the size of the vehicle. It could be large enough where it's like a large spaceship.
Do you have a
Like sort of,
garage?
like, maybe like sort of Han Solo size, where it's not huge. Like, it's not a like huge spaceship, but it's big enough to live in.
I suppose that could work.
Okay, so it,
Hey, he makes fun of me, but the guy lives in his car. Am I right?
so
I do.
where's your spaceship land? So the city is Rack City. You decide that. It's Rack City.
Oh yeah. City, yo. Censored for obvious purpose.
Exactly. And so it's a, think like university type town. There's not many skyscrapers here, but there's lots of like large sort of mansion houses, and there's lots of like houses and living areas. Maybe you're in sort of an off part of the city where there are skyscrapers further inside, but you're maybe on the edge. So where's your ship sort of
Skyscrapers.
land in comparison to
So
that?
there's like a downtown with skyscrapers.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the rest of it's pretty flat, but also high class at the same time.
Exactly.
Exciting.
I'd probably put it somewhere in the flat, high-class area, so I could get access to it a little easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then probably you go.
Is there a cat in here? I know that some of these chairs tend to sound like cats, unless it's not a chair, it's actually a cat.
It's a dying cat.
These microphones aren't sensitive enough.
So you couldn't hear it. The chair was squeaking.
Yeah.
And it sounded like a cat.
That's,
So
that's me. My internal hard drive is getting a little rusty. I gotta apply some
Right.
engine oil onto it right now. That's what comes with being a half.
That
human,
is true.
half cybernetic organism.
you are like made of like biomatter, sort of like Terminator style, where he had like skin, but it was like
Yeah.
rubbery and not real
Didn't
skin.
I say it was kind of like an earthy kind of?
Yeah, the insides were almost like earthy, like clayey, where it's
Yeah.
sort of like squishy and sticky, but sort of crumbles at the same time.
It's like hash, kind of.
Yeah, like hash.
But that's a different story for a different day.
That it is. So, you head to your spaceship. Maybe there's like a grove of trees, like a small woods where people go and walk. Maybe like you hid it in there somewhere.
Oh, that works.
But you do have your chameleon plates, so you can sort of hide from them.
Yes.
Okay. So you go to your ship, and do you guys like meet up afterwards or anything? Or you guys like, like, all right, so this is what we're gonna do later, or anything like that? You guys getting together?
I mean, I suppose since we're working together after all, come the end of the weekend, I suppose we should establish some kind of plan.
Fine. We should probably get to know each other a little bit, I suppose.
Okay.
Hey, I live at a
Where-
pretty decent place for meeting other people.
That's true, you do. You gonna tell them where you live?
No,
No?
maybe later.
Maybe later.
Just kidding, I'll tell you.
Also, what do you look like, my friend?
I have long green hair and I have jaded eyes that are glazed over but also transparent. Otherwise, I wear pretty ragtag clothing because I'm not exactly from the richest background, but I have a lot of facial character.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Nice.
And vague for you.
Nice and vague. Perfect.
Sketch artist incoming soon.
Yeah.
One of these days.
I would love to, and then we would take down these and put it up behind us.
Yes.
Ooh, that would be dope.
That it would. And then, how about your character?
So, in comparison, on my planet, white and gray are very common color options for clothing.
Boring.
Very Arctic climate, so you're right, there's not much color. I wear like a long white trench coat,
Nice.
gray slacks, black boots, black shirt kind of thing. Very just pale gray skin from not really much sun from where I am. White shoulder length hair, with kind of a center part, and my eyes are completely white.
Nice.
Very cool.
To,
Literally.
do you like hide that at all?
Nope.
Okay. Just to sort of fill in, he's playing the outsider class, which is an alien. He comes from a different planet, and he has an alien spaceship.
That's about as outside as it gets.
I mean, you could go further out.
You
You'd
go
be a nerd.
transdimensional, but-
Exactly, transdimensional alien.
That's something we're working on.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. Anyways,
That part out.
so next, you guys go to your ship. So you're meeting at your place?
Yeah, fine. Not exactly my place. I don't want
Not
to show you
exactly.
my home pad yet, but I do live underneath an arcade. So if you want to come by there later, it's
What are we gonna call it?
the Jam City Arcade.
Jam City Arcade.
Yeah, get it? Because it's not Rack City, it's Jam City.
Jam City Arcade. Okay. Oh, what was the game that was there? Oh, what was the name of that game?
Deer Hunter?
Tac Zoom Fighter.
Oh yeah.
Tactical Zoom Fighter.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was.
That was my dumb creation.
It's probably the only one that works. Is this like an operational one, or is it run down? Like
What, the arcade or the
yeah,
game?
the arcade.
The arcade's pretty operational.
Okay, well, I mean,
It's
like,
alright.
is it like is it
Some outdated games, but otherwise it's
Okay.
it's going strong.
Okay.
Pretty popular place in the city.
Okay,
good.
good.
There's not much else to do, honestly, except get milkshakes.
that? Oh, that's right. There is a Russian
Russian Oberweis.
connected to it,
Yeah,
right next to it. So you guys meet at the arcade.
it's wholesome.
Yes, it's awesome. I love fascist flavors.
Yeah.
And so you guys meet at the arcade, and you're gonna sort of discuss how you're gonna do all the things you introduce to each other. And your character, I believe, doesn't give influence, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So you guys don't get influence over him, at the beginning at least.
I am very haughty.
There you go. So you guys, I like the idea of like a montage going through of like you guys going, you meet, shake hands, like how it's going. A very stark difference between the two of you and like just color of skin and like height and everything.
Yeah.
And there's just like cool, also like sort of like low down, sort of like jazzy music going in the background. You guys are like talking, like, all right, how are we gonna do this?
That works.
That works.
Some odd couple stuff going on.
Yeah, exactly. And so you guys, you're setting everything up. You go to the Russian Oberweis. You sit down. You have your milkshakes, your fries, whatever it is.
And we dip the fries in our milkshakes.
Exactly.
Like us doing that here in fascist Drac City, but
Well, it tastes wonderful, I must say.
yeah, it's great.
It does. I agree.
The best of both worlds.
And so you guys are like sitting down, and you notice that actually All Might and the Gremlin haven't joined you.
Yeah, where are they?
You don't know.
I hope they're okay.
Maybe.
Should I message them?
Maybe not. I mean, you could.
I don't have their numbers.
No, you don't.
I could find their numbers.
You could though.
That's the thing. Oh well, let me do a quick Russian Google search, and I'll try and find that stuff.
Now, between sort of missions, like sets of missions, when it's like there's like a break, like you defeat the villain, you're going to have downtime. In which case, I'm going to allow you guys to just like do something you want to do. So whether it be clear a condition, or you want to say
Wait, I thought we couldn't clear conditions.
that I'm adding this in, like as a like this is my added into the game.
Change the rules.
I did. That's what happens when you're the god of this universe.
Yeah.
Accurate.
I could call down a meteor to squash you at any point in time.
Yes, of course.
Rocks fall, everyone dies, goes in every game.
Exactly. And so what you're gonna have to do is, or not have to, but you're able to do is during these down times, you're allowed to do an action, 2 actions, whether it be clearing a condition, which is an action, so you can clear up to 2, or for you, for example, you're like, I want to make, what was the hook shot last time? The one that wasn't recorded.
Make that. I need some accessories.
Exactly. Like you can find or make items, and so like he wanted to make a hook shot, things like that.
Pretty cool.
And so over the weekend, you guys are like talking, you get ready. So it's Monday, right? You go in and you start building the walls. You're starting to build it up. You know, still montage going on. You're like starting to work on the walls. Still, the Gremlin and All Might have not showed up, and it's probably been about 3 days now of working. You guys are like, this is strange.
I said there were supposed to be others, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, where did they go?
I mean, I know my gauntlet's putting in a lot of work, but I can only move so quickly.
Exactly. So
Yeah, it's gonna take a little while.
something that's been happening though recently is as you're listening to sort of news stations and weathercasts, things like that. What was it? Steve Lavender. What was his name?
Wait, who?
What was the name? What was the newscaster name we were gonna?
Jacob,
Jacob Daffodil.
Jason Daffodil.
Jason Daffodil.
Jason Daffodil, I think.
That's a good name.
Jason Daffodil here. There's a strange occurrence nearby. Over the past couple of days, there's been a quite large storm that's been rolling in from the west to east. And as far as that goes, it's normal. But for the rest of the storm, it seems to have a sort of a greenish tint to it, which is not normal. No matter how, I don't care how much smog China has, it's not green. And also the lightning seems to be greenish colored as well.
It's a little unnerving.
And another strange part is that it doesn't rain, and it seems to be heading straight for Rack City.
Uh-oh, that's where we live.
That is a true statement.
Oops.
More updates as we learn more about this storm incoming.
You heard what he said on the Russian TV. There's some crazy storm coming, and I could see it. It's so cloudy, like right on the distance right there. That's kind of
Yep.
ominous if you ask me. I think I just said that already.
Was there anything in the news report about like temperature of the storm by any chance?
Yeah, actually, so it's sort of, what's interesting is that it's cooler and drier, And also, because of that, the air is very static charged. Like the air, like normally when it's cold during winter, you get zapped because you're like rubbing your feet on the carpet or something.
Happens.
It's not winter right now. It's midsummer, and it gets to like fall temperature. It's like cool weather where that's at.
Would you say
And,
it's
like,
cold front?
It is.
Ah.
Nice.
I gotta get out of here.
And you guys, it's sort of like supercharging the air. So even when you're not, like, you just walking outside by yourself and you like pass a metal pole and it like zaps you, you're like, ow.
Oh,
That's smart.
I don't suppose my spaceship could be of any use.
No.
I mean, you could use it to try and escape the storm.
Well, I've already been running enough.
Wouldn't there be
Well,
too
there you
many
go.
electrical disturbances? I'm
I don't know, is
sure
your ship susceptible to that amount of electricity?
That's my
Is it
question.
common in a cold climate, such as my planet?
Okay.
Because you said a lot of static in the cold.
Yes.
So,
Okay. But again, your world doesn't have friction either, apparently.
that is very true.
Oh, these wacky worlds we're talking about here.
Oh.
Oh, physics is fun.
So what's going to happen then is the storm is arriving. It's maybe a day or two later. The storm is just over the horizon, like it's just coming in. And Jacob, damn, I forgot his name already.
Daffodil.
Jacob Daffodil. I should write that down. Let me write that down real quick. Jacob Daffodil. Anyways, so Jacob Daffodil is on the, he's like, oh my gosh, we're getting reports of strange happenings, where the storm is coming from. The cities it has passed through have been completely demolished. We can't tell exactly how, as very few people are left alive as they pass through the towns it goes over.
Yeah, there's got to be some survivors you could talk
There's
to. find
scorch
some-
marks. The people that are left are completely like insane. They're gibbering about weird monsters made of electricity. I don't know how much of that is true.
It's pretty spooky.
But unfortunately, we have maybe 12 hours before the storm gets here. And everyone stay inside your houses. Let the authorities deal with whatever's going on. And I mean, Rack City is way bigger than an average town, so hopefully we'll be fine. More on it later. And then switches back to, non-emergency channel. It's just like,
Well, from what I've seen,
Russian Idol.
Yeah, Russian Idol.
Russian Idol.
Okay.
So, from what I've seen, the authorities don't seem to take care of things quite as they're expected to. I don't think they'll be able to take care of this quite easily.
Yeah, right. It's almost like some sort of supernaturally invested superpower people will have to take things into their own hands.
It's possible. It is very possible.
I don't know about this. I'm gonna go to my room though because I'm underground and I don't have to worry about this.
So I think it's the end of the week, the first week of working. You guys maybe got part of one of the walls done. You got like molded over everything. Like you got the base wall structure in.
A little bit.
Yeah, just
It's
a bit.
coming along.
I don't know, how
slowly,
much of the
but
wall do you think you got done?
like a meter.
I mean, it's like stone, like mortar stuff, probably like with some bricks and.
Okay, maybe like 18 meters.
Okay, so you probably got like.
Square meters.
So you probably got like one of the walls done that was
Something
broken
like
through.
that. Sure.
Okay, so you fixed one of the walls.
There were only two of us.
Yeah, exactly. There were only two of you. And so you guys are like hanging out again. You think you guys have bonded all over it all the week?
I suppose we probably bonded in spite over Gandolfson a little bit.
Nice.
As we've been working.
It's true. We gotta fight the man.
Yeah.
It's true.
I don't like how there's somebody more superior to
Okay.
me around here.
Each of you take an influence over the other.
That's pretty epic.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Influence points.
Yep, one influence point for each of you.
I thought I
over
could
the other one.
influence this guy though.
No,
I thought he was too
beginning.
funny.
At the beginning, I don't think. Unless it's like period, you can't be influenced over.
Because all it says on here is give no one influence.
Yep, just give no one. So, and he's not giving you influence. I'm giving you influence over him.
Ooh, that's.
So you both get influence over the other. One.
Haha, you don't have any control over this.
Yeah. And so you guys are like hanging out at the Russian Nobelweissen arcade one day. The storm has just rolled in. It's right above you guys. Everyone's like, the streets are mostly deserted. And as you guys are leaving Russian Oberweis, the full brunt of the storm hits. It's like gusting cold winds. Like it gets real dark. Like like storm-wise. Like it's not like pitch black, but it's like almost nighttime dark.
Oh yeah, I gotta get my lantern out here. Yes, I have one of those.
I feel like I'm back at home.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, lots of snowstorms there.
I hate it.
And the air is very cool and quiet. It also seems the air seems almost muffled. And you can sort of see you can see little bits of large metal areas, like cars, things have sort of little sparks that come off of them in certain areas of greenish electricity. And the air gets extremely dry. To the extent of if you expose yourself for too long, you can get chapped lips, sort of wintertime
You need
style.
some chapstick and some Jergens.
Exactly. And so you guys are we should probably head back. And just as you're heading back, you're probably on lunch break. You're heading back away from the arcade.
We eat a lot.
And you hear lightning. You hear a crack of thunder and lightning above you, and lightning strikes the ground in front of you. Probably about 30, and we're going meters here, so probably about 10 meters away. And where it strikes, you then see a sort of gremlin-y almost looking thing. It's a very rounded head with comes to a point. It's got large pointed ears. It's got long gangly arms that are sort of longer than itself. It's got a long pointed tail on its end on the back. And the body itself looks almost like it's made of glass. It's sort of shiny-ish on the outside and green, but on the inside there's swirling smoke. Things almost crystal ball-esque.
Well, hopefully it's not bulletproof glass. Hopefully it's the kind that breaks easily.
Yeah, I said it looked like glass. I didn't say it was. And then that one starts, but then multiple start striking down on top of buildings, around the streets, things like that, just in quick succession. Strike, 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 strike. And more of these things appear at every strike. They probably stand about 4.5 feet tall. That's at being hunched over. And they have sort of a light yellowish green eyes that glow. No mouth that you can see at the moment. And you guys are sort of surrounded, and you're ready to battle, right? You're oh shit. What do?
Engine's gauntlet is going to turn into blaster mode.
Pow, pow, pow.
Yeah, and where are you gonna pull out?
I'm gonna pull out.
I'm gonna give your character, because he's got the gauntlet, you can have one item that your character already has built for yourself.
Also, if you'd like any technology altered, let me know.
That's true.
Cool.
We can help
We
you
work
out with that.
We can work together on that front, I suppose.
Yeah, you got 2 techie guys here. Nice.
May I have my...
You cannot
Hook
have a
shot.
rocket launcher. Yes, you can have a hook shot.
Did you say you cannot have a rocket
Yes,
launcher?
if I was just you cannot have something like a rocket launcher. I was I want a rocket launcher. It's no.
Get a...
Yes, you can have a hook shot. What does this hook shot look like? If it's Batman style, where it's just on the back of your hand, or is it more like a
It's more like Zelda.
Zelda style, where
Something along those lines. Yeah, it can go pretty darn far, honestly.
Okay.
It's attached-
do you have to manually throw it, or is
yeah,
it
I'll
launched?
do a manual throw.
Okay.
I'll do that, but it hooks onto my belt. I can take it off and just be
Nice.
like that,
Okay.
But that, yeah.
Okay. So you've got your hook shot.
It does things.
We could automate that later too.
Sure, let's figure it out.
Okay.
Do some upgrades.
Are you guys gonna what are you gonna do? Go into hero mode then, or something?
Probably.
Hero mode activated.
Okay. What do your suits look like then? Do you is it just what you're wearing, or do you guys have suits at this point?
Generally speaking, I mean, I can change my form at will.
That's true.
So, I mean, generally I just go like this.
Just the way you are now.
Interesting.
Might put on more of a helmet style mask on
Ooh,
my face.
fun.
Yeah, a little protection there.
A little bit.
Is it
Protect the front of your face, not a bad idea.
so? Does the waveform just
Yeah,
over your
it
head?
goes around my head.
Oh, nice. So and is it very how's the helmet sort of look? Is it cool? Is it sort of angly and polygony, or is it very smooth and
It's
point?
a really souped up motorcycle helmet.
Oh,
Those
nice.
Full helmets.
Nice.
Visor kind of lights up and glows.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's
So
pretty
almost
badass.
Tron style type helmet.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. A
Nice.
little bit Tron-esque.
Okay. And then you I think.
My shit just kind of tightens up a little bit, so
Nice.
it's not all dangly, and some
Okay.
spikes protrude off the back of it in case I want to
Stab things.
Sure. Yeah, basically.
And then
Just kinda
do you
keep
wear
it
some sort of
covered.
mask?
No.
No, you
No
just
mask.
no mask. It's just
No.
your full face. Just like I want
Yeah.
everyone to know who I
Put
am.
on some sunglasses.
Nice. Some
going Robin
are they like
style.
aviators? They're like aviators.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they just look cool.
Nice. You have like
And
wraparound
they do protect my
aviators.
eyes a little bit too. because
there
I
you
do
go.
need those. That's the thing.
Okay. So, ring strikes. You guys are ready to fight.
I'm 12.
Yeah. And you've got awesome aviators already.
Okay.
Okay.
Good start.
And so you guys, you're ready to fight, right? And then
Yes.
out of an alley next to you, you hear tap, 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 and a man probably in his late 40s, maybe early 50s, walks out of the alley. He's wearing, black slacks. He's got nice black like shoes on. He's wearing sort of a sports jacket with like a white shirt underneath with like a tie, and he's got a fedora on, like a wide brim fedora, cowboy style almost.
Milady.
And he's got sort of white wispy hair, and he is also wearing sunglasses with like the rounded ones, like the like rimless glasses, round. They're
yeah.
very fancy looking. And he's walks down and is like, "Wait, what?" Takes a double take, looking around. He's like, "What the hell? Ah, shit!" And he's got
Big
his
problem going on
yeah,
here.
and he picks up his cane and he draws a sword out of it.
Oh, hello. Right on cue.
I decided to decline that call because I'm busy and it's probably a telescammer. So
Oh, fun!
yeah.
And he whips out a blue steel blade from his cane.
Dope.
Mm-hmm.
Dope is by
Dope.
accident.
Nice. And he's just like, he sees you guys and he's like, damn, are you kids gonna run or something? Would you, because I'm not gonna,
That's what you would expect, but
Yeah.
we're some sort of superheroes. In fact, we're renegades. Huh?
ba-doom-ching.
Tagline.
I know, I need more sound effects, but it's working on it.
And he's like, all right, can you fight?
As he asks that, the blaster expands. A secondary barrel just pops out in front.
He's like, all right, how about you?
Damn, I got a hook shot. What?
Cool, we can find some use for that.
Yeah, I'll figure something out there.
Cool. And he's like, all right, these things, people just call them imps, but they're electromorphs.
Ooh.
The bad news, as I'm sure you could tell by the news lately, and yeah, don't let
Yes,
them
I
touch.
do watch the news.
Yeah,
We actually just saw some.
Yeah, exactly.
don't let them touch you.
Oh, well, I especially wouldn't want them to touch me. I don't even want them to come near me because
Other hands just pointing at the gauntlet.
Cool. He's like, all right, you guys cover left, I'll cover right. Back, and he's like, back into the alley. Do you guys follow him?
Sure.
seems like the sort of guy we might want to follow.
Nice.
I'll make sure the back's covered.
Sure.
Nice.
Thanks, man.
And so as you guys sort of back up to leave into the alley, you sort of like, all right, you're backing up, and then you hear screeches from outside that are sort of like staticky, almost overmodulated sounding.
Oh.
So that's really like painful to just listen to. It's like, grinds on your ears. And probably about half a dozen of them like just come into the alley entrance. Probably close to like 8 of them like come up in the alley entrance, and like they start crawling up the walls. You can see 2 hop up over the edge of the building above you, and behind you, you see some around the corner of the alley behind you. What do you do?
Because I'm looking at the back.
Yes, you,
Okay, cool.
yeah. And you, what do you do?
Me?
Yeah, what do you guys do?
I'm gonna prep to fire whatever's coming around the corner.
Nice. Okay. And Ruse?
I'm just gonna keep following this guy because I got spikes on my back, so anything that comes towards me, I can just
Are they made of metal?
yeah,
Hmm.
just give him a.
Oh, metal. Metal is a conductor, my friend.
I'm also
Yeah.
a conductor. That's a problem.
Yeah.
So
Just a bit. It's a little
anyway.
bad for you.
We kind of made a.
All right.
made a
So the man, he's like, shit. And you see him pull out his blade, but as he swings, he almost like, not teleports, but almost seems to. He moves so fast up and slices 3 of them, cutting them in half, and they sort of like pop almost. Like he slices them, and it's sort of like they aren't made of glass. You could tell at this point. When he slices them, they like, and then they just pop into electricity.
The man does this?
Yeah.
The unknown
Dashes
mystery
forward and slices 3 of them in half.
Good old mystery man.
That were coming in through the entrance. He's like, run! What do you do?
I literally run. I use my hook shot to try and basically cover more ground and get away from
Okay.
these guys.
There's
because
5 in front of you.
There's 5 in front of me.
Yeah.
I go over them.
Okay, so you jump over them.
Yeah,
All right,
go
make
jump
a.
over.
I'd say this is. What do you think? Unleashing your powers, or what do you think? Kick some. Because you're not fighting,
Running.
running. All right, so I'll say that's probably closer to like. Damn, what would that be? Under
Affecting
moves.
your environment?
Under moves, there's. Let's see. Over in the rule sheet there, what you got? Yeah. Yep, that one. Let's see. In that rule sheet, there should be, like, there's engage threat, unleash powers, things like that, on the rule sheet there.
Oh, directly engage a threat.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably directly engaging that threat. You're trying to dodge past them.
Yeah.
You are directly engaging them,
I
though.
believe on the sheet it would be resisting or avoiding blows.
Yeah, that would be what you're going for. So, what do you, yeah, go ahead and roll. Plus, I would say danger.
What's gonna happen next?
What'd you get?
12?
Damn, double sixes.
Right?
Sixes, yup.
Alright, cool.
Double 6, nice. You succeed. All right, how's this look?
I find a ledge that's hanging off a building in the alley, and
Okay.
it's able to be latched on by my hook shot, and I basically pull a George of the Jungle and
Okay.
swing myself up and around over it.
What if you do this? Your character's running, you see the 5 things from you, you're like, shit. And you take your hook shot, and you probably like throw it, and like it stabs into a ledge of one of the houses. It's probably like the richer houses in the area.
Yeah, fuck them.
Right, so you've got like the nice, and you throw it up, and you just, whoosh, and you just sort of tighten it, and you just sort of,
Yeah,
backflip.
sure.
Nice.
And I kick through a few of them too.
Nice, you kick 2 of them. I'll say you kick them and knock them back a little bit.
Yeah,
Since you got a double 6 plus danger. What's your danger?
2.
2? Oh, you got
No,
plus
I
2?
don't know. Hold on, I just
2?
can't even reference
What's your
it.
danger? 2. Oh, really? Maybe not.
No, I just say 2 to everything.
Nice.
My danger is 0.
Okay, so at least you don't get a minus.
That's good.
All right.
That would be me.
Yeah. So you see him just like charge at these things, and then throws his hook shot up and like swing up onto a ledge of like one of the mansion like
Yep.
little areas next to it. What do you do then?
I would like to assess the situation.
Okay.
Because now that he's
Okay.
gone, I'm just like,
Okay.
I'm not
Go ahead
gone. I'm
and-
just farther.
Well, yeah, you took off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the other side of the.
So go ahead and roll. Plus, I believe that is superior.
So let's roll 2 of these, right?
Yep, just 2, and add your superior, which is great for you.
I got an 8.
Plus, is that with the plus?
That's with plus 3.
Okay, so that's a mixed success. So you get to choose 1.
Let's see. How could we best end this quickly? Is what I'd like to try to figure out.
Okay, so I'd say the way you can best end this quickly is to either probably use your gun to shoot some sort of like explosive blast to try and take out multiple, or to try and lead them away. Actually, you know what? I'll do it this way. I'll do it in game. The guy's like, he sees like him flip, and he's like, "You got to be careful with these things. They have a tendency to do something." And as he's explaining it, you see the 5 of them. They're sort of like they like stop moving, and they sort of start vibrating, and you see sparks shooting between them. And then they sort of get sucked along that and form one giant one, except for the fact that this one does not have that glass shape to it. It's 5 times the size. It's probably about 10, 12 feet tall, so about 4 meters tall.
Oh, God.
And it has giant bat wings. Think the Balrog from
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh god.
Like a giant horned monster, sort of faceless features. It's got, instead of like those pointy ears, it's just got horns coming out of its head now. It's got sort of a large sort of like masculine torso, like broad, thinner legs. It's got like backwards legs. It's got the bat wings. But instead of having like the lightning, like shininess to it that they did, instead it's just completely made of clouds. Like greenish, sparky clouds with like electricity going through them.
That's something different.
And then it leaps over you to land next to the 3 left at the entrance to the alley. And those 3 are also absorbed into him, and he grows probably about a few more feet. He's probably now about 5 meters tall.
Were those the ones that were around the corner?
Those are gone, yes. Those are the ones that were on the
alright.
corner.
'Cause I was checking
Yeah.
whatever threat was around the corner,
Yep.
so I just want to make sure.
Yep. And
At least there's only one big guy now.
Yeah,
It,
no, it's gonna be a little easier
yeah.
to keep track of, I think, despite
And
the
it-
greater danger.
and it launches itself into the air.
Oh god.
And as it goes,
After all, what are you
as it
doing?
flies up, it's sort of like its legs turn into just like a stream of cloud, and its wing tips sort of peel back into smoke, into like cloud as well as it flies up. And then when it stops, it recollects itself to recongeal into the form that it usually is. And then it flies straight down at the old man.
Does my gauntlet have like a pressure blaster type thing? I can try to like alleviate some of the pressure because it's basically just clouds, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So I can try to like spread it apart a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and try and do that. I would say that's Unleash Your Powers, which I believe
Okay.
is roll plus fleek. It's roll plus fleek.
Roll fleet. On fleet.
At least I have a +1 rule.
I haven't heard that
Ooh.
in a year.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
Let's see.
Don't forget you have extra dice. What'd you get?
I got a 7.
Nice. So with that, you could pick one from Unleash Your Powers, which should be top right page of the page. Rules, Unleash Powers, of your the rule sheet there. Should be.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. On a hit. Okay, so
7 to 9.
yeah. Okay, so basically,
You get to do what you want, but I believe there is a side effect.
it says market condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Okay. So, I think what happens is you fire sort of a concussive blast at it to like sort of spread it apart, and it works. That it sort of like poofs into a giant like poof of cloud, which slams on top of the old man, who then, as it's landing, sort of jumps backwards out of the smoke. However, your concussive blast uses static electricity to charge itself.
So,
And therefore you hit it and stopped it from completely demolishing the old man, as far as you could tell.
well, that's good.
But it is now about 6 meters tall.
Great.
It is now bigger.
Yeah, good job there. You did that this time.
And he says,
Turned into like a diehard.
he goes, "Damn it!" And he says, "All right, follow me." And he just starts sprinting away from the thing.
This guy's great at cursing and running.
Yeah.
I will say. I'm gonna make sure to, if I need to keep, fire on it or whatever, I'll do that. But I'm gonna make sure I follow.
Okay. So you start blasting at it, and you sort of like hit holes in it as you're running, but it completely just immediately seals closed after you hit it.
Great.
And as far as you can tell, it doesn't seem to be shrinking in size either. It's just like, and then shrink back down. And he leads you around the corner of the alley. What are you doing? Right now, you're just on top of the building. What are you gonna do? You gonna follow them?
You're just watching this.
I don't know, man. I'm thinking of pulling some Spider-Man shit and just linking across these
Rooftops?
rooftops.
So just like jumping and throwing the hook and
Well, it'd be the
swinging
easiest
around.
way, honestly.
Nice. Are you following them then, as they go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not going the other direction.
So he's like leading you through a sort of a myriad of tunnels, almost like alleys that go between the expensive houses and things like that, down streets and alleys. And the entire time you hear like a deathly roar coming from behind you as the thing is chasing you through the air. And You hear strikes of lightning as you see it collect energy into its hands and shoot them at you as you're running. Roll engage that threat to dodge out of the way of these hits. Oops.
All of us?
All of you, yeah.
Oh,
dang.
my danger is awful.
Nice.
All right.
What's gonna attack me?
7.
7 plus danger.
Plus
That's
danger.
0. Doesn't matter. So you're running, but as you're running, it's so close that like it hits and the like excess energy that comes off of it, static electricity, zaps you.
Yeah.
And so you are all going to mark a condition.
Yeah, so because I rolled a 6.
Yeah.
Bad.
Oh, you failed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you get almost hit directly, lands right behind you and launches you into the air, and you go flying face first into the ground. So you take a condition, and you are now on the ground. And this thing has now landed again and is going to try and smash you.
Okay, so I just pick one.
Yeah. Well, so usually you sort of make sense. So afraid, which would make sense, seeing as how thing's almost going to kill you.
Yeah, we'll do that one.
Okay. And then the ruse, you took a condition as
I'm
well.
gonna mark guilty because I wasn't there with my homies when I should have been.
Ah, all right, cool.
I fled upwards and
Away.
I had to.
Okay.
But, condition.
Luckily, as it shot down, the man was able to dodge out of the way of all of the electric shots.
Good on you, old man.
And he sees you. You get shocked and go flying over his head. I like the idea of like a slow-mo shot. As lightning strikes, he dodges out of the way, and you just whoa. And he goes, shit. And he stops, turns, and as one of the things shoots another bolt of electricity at you, he catches it. He hits it with his cane bottom, with the sheath part of the cane, and absorbs the energy in his cane. And then he spins around with his sword side and launches it right back into the thing.
Yeah.
And it strikes it in the face, and it is thrown backwards. And when it hit, there were sparks of green, like lightning, and sort of almost almost like sparks coming off of a welder. Like these like green sort of globs of fire fly off of it and hit the ground and then sort of fizzle away. And you have to tell that it shrunk also from that hit.
Ooh. Good.
And then he picks you up and is like, come on, and he throws you over his shoulder and continues sprinting away.
Well, I'm not really a fan of that.
Knocked you down a peg.
I'm far, far away from here.
Yeah.
And you come to a very large sort of estate. There's all these fancy houses, but this one is set back. Like there's an access road that leads back into sort of a pine tree area, actually quite close to where your ship is.
Oh no.
And he runs through it.
I have weapons over there.
And he runs through it, and you come to a clearing and a large sort of estate. There's like fountains and marble statues and all sorts of things like that.
Nice.
And like hedges and everything. And he runs right up to his house and he says, Clive, hurry, now, do it. And you see a butler outside, and he's like, oh no, sir.
Got an Irish butler?
Yep, he's like, oh no, sir. It's like, oh no. And he presses, and you see him run back inside the building. And you hear some clattering around. And then you see marble statues outside start popping to life.
Oh god.
They stand to attention, and they step off their like pedestals that are lining the walkway to the house. And they draw their shields, and they sort of back up towards the house behind you guys. And the giant thing lands in front of them. There are 4 of them there. They're probably about each almost as tall as the thing itself. But as they swing at it, the swords that they wield just go right through it. Nothing happens. And you hear him say, "No, oh no, sir, oh no."
Why is that funny?
The first wall of defenses have been broken through.
Yep. It's like, oh no, and the thing just sort of walks past them. And you guys sprint inside. It's like, oh, slams the door shut. And he's like, sir, you need to get to the safe room. He's like, Clive, I'm fine. Get this person, maybe, I don't know, he doesn't look like a normal person. Get him to the infirmary, and he points to you, the ruse, and he's like, you and I are gonna have to have a little bit of, we're gonna have to do something here. You might not like it, but it's probably a good idea to keep us alive.
Yeah, I probably won't like it, but I do like being alive. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take it.
And you see him, Clive throws the man a large sort of remote with a red button on it, and he presses it. And you see all of the doors and windows like have metal slides that go down over it.
Ooh.
And then, as soon as that slams shut, everything goes quiet. The lights go out, turn back on, and they're sort of like a reddish color, like sort of emergency lights.
Damn.
And you start hearing sort of a cycling, like sort of like what sounds like usually like air conditioning. And he's like, the house has been closed off from the outside. We're using emergency energy, so it can't get in through the power lines. However, we have a limited amount of air now. So we need to figure out a way to defeat this thing before we run out of oxygen.
Oh God.
And I don't want it in here because as a gaseous creature, it can literally go anywhere. And there's vents, lots of them, in this building.
And I'm currently injured, correct?
And you are currently injured.
Well, that's fantastic.
Oh, great. Looks like I have to figure something out here.
Good luck.
And he's like, oh, and you can call me Mr. Jack.
All right, Mr. Jack. Nice to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Jeff.
Nice to meet you, Jeff. And you, sir? As you're being like limping away, he's like, and you, sir? What's your name?
Engine.
Engine. Do you have a last name?
Not that I care to tell.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, that's just the way we are.
And you hear slamming against the wall outside, and he's like, well, better get to work.
I
And-
don't suppose I could get outside to find my ship.
No.
You have a ship?
I was planning on heading over there, but now I'm in here.
So you're an alien.
I gotta hold up the gauntlet, just like it just kind of perks up a little bit. What was your first clue?
Well, at first I thought you might have been just some weird, super techie person, and that was maybe an outfit. Now I'm looking closer at you, and that's definitely just your skin.
Yeah, and as he says skin, the helmet just kind of folds away into the back of my neck. I'm just like, yes.
All right,
Skin.
good to know. And he's like, all right, cool. And I think that's where we're gonna end today.
Oh no.
Oh,
At that little bit of
Why are you
fun
leaving
little
these cliffhangers, man?
cliffhangers are awesome. It brings.
Metaphorical cliffhangers.
I know they're always fun. Cliffhangers are great. That's how you get people to come back. They're like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Cliffhangers, either that or like make a good, compelling story, and people are like, oh, that was fun, and they come back and read, or both.
Or a little bit of both.
Exactly.
All
But that was episode 2 of the Renegades, and we will see you next time.